Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, I'm going to show you something really interesting that, I've been testing yesterday on my stream, and that is a team for Ancient Battlefield for Stage 9. And I'm gonna say this from the beginning, from what, as you can see over here, this is not a team that is 100% successful. From what I've seen so far, it's something like, it's a 50-50 team, but you know what, at the end of the day, I'm pretty happy with this, considering the fact that Ancient Battlefield is the hardest stage to actually do, and in particular, stage 9 is really hard, because you know what, the boss hits pretty hard. You need some specific teams around for this. You don't need to bring any buffs if possible. You need to bring buff removers, buff prohibition, decrease attack, all the crazy stuff in order for you to survive. And the best thing that I found about this team is the fact that, well, first of all, I'm not using any legendary, there's no legendary used in this team. And then the second thing is the fact that I'm even using three free to obtain heroes. That's first of all, that's a Hexandra, which everybody gets from just doing the story and playing the game normally. Secondly, there's the common Meredith, which again, everybody can get her. Just, you just need to do a few pulls. I'm quite sure you're gonna easily get her from pulling your Starlight die. So you should have somebody like this. Then the third one is going to be Sigrid, which again, this is one of those ones that I specifically made a video a few days back about Sigrid, saying that she's definitely one of the ones, if not the first one, that you actually want to use and want to get from the Walker's Trail chest that you get. And it's because she's so viable for almost every single content in the game that she is a must. She's one of those ones that you 100% want to get because her kit is just amazing. She brings you some decent damage, she brings you decreased attack, she brings heal prohibition. Like, she's the best hero in the game when it comes to landing heal prohibition because she has it on the battle skill and then on the ultimate. And yeah, that's kind of like the first core. Then the other two ones that I'm using are, it's not as easy to obtain, but they're still, again, they're no legendaries, they're epics, and that is going to be Frurbath, and then that's going to be Voresh, okay? So when it comes to Frurbath as an example, I'm quite sure you can replace Frurbath with, for example, Isolde, okay? So if you have Isolde, that brings you shield, she brings decreased attack, she brings you some survivability. Isolde can come into this team because, well, what Frurbath brings is he brings healing, and then he also brings the decreased attack. So Isolde, instead of him, would bring you she would not bring the healing, but she would bring you the shields, and you would still have the decreased attack. Then when it comes to Voresh, well, Voresh is in this team because he's one that does some damage. You can see that the damage is not crazy. It's a pretty slow run, and that's also the reason why it's not, it's not 100%, because unfortunately you can have something like you just saw. You can have a 3% chance, I guess that's what it is, of getting resisted on those decreased attack. And the thing is, if you don't have the decreased attack when the boss does this slam, you're basically dead, okay? So that's the only thing that can make this one, there's two things, sorry. If you don't have the decreased attack when the boss does this slam, is what can make it fail first. It seems like my what's her name? Sigrid keeps getting resistant, even though I have enough accuracy on her, plus I have enough accuracy from the, from the elemental resonance. I have 3 people again. It seems like he just keeps failing. I might just have to, it's again, a really bad showcase, but like I said, I've done runs, and it's kind of like, from, as an example, from 10 runs, at least 5 would win. And at the end of the day, this is still a work in progress, okay? This is not perfect. Again, it's not using full epics, full legendary, so it's pretty obtainable, but it's not going to be something perfect. I might still be playing with this one, still testing some stuff, but the way that I actually made this team work is by using especially the skill timing, okay? This is something that's really important because I have 2 people that do decreased attack in the team, that's Sigrid and Frurbath, and the way that I had this one timed was I had them do the decreased attack at different times with the timing. So for example, firstly, you're gonna see over here when it comes to Voresh, I delayed his ultimate, his first time use, for after when the boss does the big slam, because I want the buff prohibition to land so that it can stop the increased attack to go back on the boss. And that's why you see the delay over here, for example, for Voresh. And after that, he can do it whenever because he's gonna come with the timing and the skill haste that he has with it at the right time. Then when it comes to Sigrid, I made Sigrid delay the first use at 21 seconds because Fruitbath's gonna use it the first time, then I'm gonna wait till it almost lands off, and that's where Sigrid does it the first time. And then after that, she does it every 19.5 seconds from the casting interval. And then Fruitbath, after he does it initially, he does it every 19 seconds. This is what worked for me perfectly, so that I will always have the decrease attack be there, unless, like you saw, you get that bad, you know, bad RNG where it just does not land because of 3% or accuracy issue. But the thing is, this is weird. See, so I have 36 plus 184, that's 220 accuracy, okay? And then if you look over here, it says that you need 220 accuracy for a higher success rate of landing it. But at the same time, I have this. I have the resonance, and I gain an extra 50, which does not show in the stats. When you look at them, it just appears, you know, it's just going to be here for the fight. So I don't know why this happens, because for those of you that play Raid Shadow Legends, you know that there's that thing in Raid where there's a... what is it again? There's like a 3% chance that you get resisted even though you have enough accuracy. So that's the weird thing about it. So I guess what I'm gonna do is, like, you know, I'm just gonna play the whole run. I'm gonna come back at the end to show you that it's at, you know, it can actually work, because I had a video in the past, so I did the same, and I just had the worst RNG when it comes to this. I don't know why that happens, but I guess that just seems to be my luck. When I'm trying to show something for the video, it just fails, it never works. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna play this again, I'm gonna let it go through, and then we're gonna come back at the end and show you, you know, how long it took me, that it worked, and then we're gonna go through the builds. Keep in mind that you can also use consumables, obviously, if you want to make it more reliable. Those are things that you can make easily for free just by going and, you know, collecting stuff from the map, finding the right recipe that brings you more attack, that, I don't know, more HP, more defense, depending what you need for the team. Because, for example, for me, my team is just like on the edge. I have just about enough healing in the team between Hexandra, Fruitbath, and Meredith, that I'm surviving. Obviously, again, the main issue is if that decreased attack does not land, that it can be a problem. But like I said, I'm gonna come back at the end of this round to show you the, you know, the result and the build. So see you in a bit. Okay, so we're back here towards the end. Like I said, it's not a fast run by any means, but it does work. As long as, like I said, that silly 3% of not having the decreased attack when the boss does the big slam over here, that can make the run fail. Or at the beginning when Voresh does his battle skill to try and remove the initial increased attack, then if those things happen, you know, if those two things do not happen, the run goes. It's like a 5-minute run. The best I had was 428, but overall it's pretty good. You can see that the damage is split between Sigrid and Voresh. But it's pretty, you know, it's pretty surprising for me that it actually worked, you know. No legendaries, 2 epics. Obviously, it's like I said, 2 of the good epics, but they are replaceable. Like, especially Voresh, like I said, you can bring Isolde or basically anybody else that brings you some decreased attack on the ultimate with some healing or shielding. That can also be like the tank. And then same thing for Voresh. I guess Voresh can be replaced by somebody else. I have not looked too much, honestly, on who's somebody else that brings buff prohibition or buff removal, but at the end of the day, what you need to do, like I said, you need to have the decreased attack on the boss at all times. You need to block the boss from getting that increased attack on himself, or have a way to remove it and some sustain in there, and you should be able to do this one. Now, let's have a quick look at the builds in there. So, first of all, I have Fruitbath. I do have the crown on him, but honestly, this is not mandatory. I just have it because it gives me some accuracy, it gives me defense, and a chance to land the defense penalty. Then he's built in a 3-piece Brotherhood Spirit set that gives him skill, haste, accuracy, and also some increased attack to everybody. This increased attack that he places does not count as a buff that the boss removes, so keep that in mind. And it's like defense % here, defense % here, and then stuff with defense % accuracy and some survivability stats. They're not the best pieces. As you can see, this one has enlightenment, doesn't benefit me, attack barely benefits me, so, you know, I even have like 2 pieces of the rare runes. I could even have like this one could be a legendary one, even though I had some. Just chose to use it like this. Then the next one, Voresh. I do have the Witch's Remains on Voresh, which again is not mandatory. If you do not have Witch's Remains but you only have the crown, put the crown on Voresh or on whoever's gonna do the most hits on their ultimate to try and have that decreased defense or that defense penalty on the boss, so you can take it down as fast as possible, okay? And then Voresh is built for damage with attack %, crit rate, And then I have a complete set of Wrath of the Trolls because it gives me attack percent, gives me skill haste, but also this set is good if you have a 3-set piece because it helps them heal back up, okay? So if you have your DPS, they're obviously going to be some squish. You're not going to be able to keep them perfectly safe. So if you have this set, they're going to heal back up every time they do their basic skill by 40% of their attack. So that can be really helpful. And then the last one's just an offset piece with some crit rate, crit damage, and HP. Crit damage over here on this, what's it called, on the positive rune. And then this one, I have the accuracy one, which is the what's it called? It is a legendary piece, but you know, if you're trying to push stage 9, you should be at the point where you should already be doing stage 7 or 8. So getting a legendary piece here should be obtainable, but at the same time, it's not mandatory. Again, this one's not perfect. It gives me accuracy. I could lower some of that accuracy and just, I need only 220, you know, 220, 230. So if I replace this, for example, with something like this, let's have a look, I would still have over the 220 margin. So that would still work. Then the next one that I have in the team was a Sigrid. Sigrid, I just have this one for more accuracy and some HP and a chance to reduce the ultimate. But if you have the preset, as long as you can hit those seconds that I showed you, you should not care about having this specifically to reduce your ultimate. Again, I just use it to give me the accuracy to get to the point where I want to be. Again, attack percent here, then attack percent, accuracy, defense, you know, just completing some stats. Again, gives me accuracy. All the 3 other ones are useless for her, so don't have a perfect build. And then this one's attack percent. I could try and make this one a crit rate one so I can try and do more damage, but you know what? I just left it as is because this one gave me accuracy. Then attack over here with some crit damage, flat defense. Again, you could try and get maybe more accuracy over here. And then a defense one to try and give her more resist. Again, this one could be something with an accuracy to make her, you know, to get her to that threshold and get survivability from the other parts or the other gear. Then I have Hexandra. She's again in a Wrath of the Troll set with HP percent over here, resist over here, because Hexandra needs to have resist, okay? I'm not sure exactly what the threshold is, but I'm thinking 250 plus resistance, because I'm going to show you that once I go back in, but the one who's furthest away will always be getting that stun hit, and you want to resist that so the boss goes into the backfire mode so he gets more damage. And again, enlightenment over here for more healing from the battle skill, then more resistance from an epic negative rune, plus the healing one. It can be this one, it can be the luminary orb gospel, it can be life spindle, whatever gives her, you know, more towards her healing or more survivability. Like you could even go maybe with this one to help you get the resistance. And then the last one is actually the common Meredith, which is in 2 pieces of the Brotherhood Spirit, so I can get the skill haste, and then 2 pieces of the Wrath of the Troll, again for the skill haste, because she's really good for her healing, but her cooldowns are really high. So I'm trying to get her some skill haste so that she comes back to them as fast as possible. She has defense with some skill haste over here, defense with some skill haste, and resist over here. So just, well, she's basically in there just to do healing, and you don't have to have that crazy stats. As long as you have her survive so that she doesn't die from the AoE hits, she should be just fine. Now, if you go over again in the fight and have a look, basically when it comes to the positioning and the boss's skills, if you have the position like this, then whoever is in this corner is going to be the one that's going to get the stun always. Or you can try and move it maybe like this, and then Fruitbath goes ahead. But if you do like this and you have Fruitbath, the only one that will benefit from his healing from his battle skill, because you see the range, is going to be the person that's over there, which is going to be Sigrid. So that's why I kept them like this, because I want his heals to benefit as much as possible. And if you would have a Isolde, I think you would have the same principle. Let's have a look at her. Let's see, where's Isolde? There we go. So you would have the same principle, because you see she has the same range as Fruitbat has on his healing nexus. So everybody that's over there will get the shield, and just the one at the back would also get it. So in this case, they would get the shield. She would get a shield, but Hexandra would not. She should still be pretty fine, because she's pretty tanky. She gets enough healing, so you should be just fine. And then another thing that you want to keep in mind is another one's the boss's hits, which I think it's the, let me see, I think it's the second one. So this one's the ultimate. Is it this one? Basic attack to all enemies. I think it doesn't say here. It's like funny enough, it doesn't say which one, but let me just go in the fight and show you what I mean. So when he does this one, he tries to stun the person at the back, okay? We resisted it, that's fine. Then this one, he switches into the sword mode. When he gets to this second hit, he's going to target whoever has the highest attack, okay? In my case, it's going to be Sigrid. So that's what you have to make sure, that whoever has the highest attack should be able to sustain enough. Okay, so that's the two things that you need to know. On this hit, the person that's the furthest will needs resistance. This one is gonna hit the person with the highest attack, and then this one's the AoE hit that he smacks, and you want to have decreased attack for that one. But anyway, this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.